dude, we got to hang out on Friday.
Yeah, man.
Went out to Portland. Beautiful drive. I had a blast driving out there. You know, music on. It was raining. I tried pulling off at a couple. You know, I drove through Oregon Trail, which was great because I pulled over and actually ate some Arby's on the Oregon Trail, and I poured a Arby's sauce packet out on the asphalt for all the people, those poor suckers that
Dude.
died along the way to get there, so that I could one day have Arby's and hang out and listen to a podcast in my car while going out to my buddies for the weekend. So, you know, thanks for eating each other and dying on the, you know, freezing to death, you know, rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
scurvy,
dude. It's much nicer now.
It's much nicer. It's such an enjoyable drive, and it's like there's not a lull. You know, you drive through California, and there's lulls where you're just either smelling cow shit
for hours, dude.
Or you're like, am I going to get killed?
Yeah.
You know, but the drive from Idaho, I didn't realize the Oregon border's literally a half hour from
it's
where
super
I live.
close to you, man.
I didn't know that, but definitely going to spend more time out there. Portland is a beautiful city. I loved it. I loved just the vibe of that place. It's so funny. I was telling Sarah, I was like, the media's portrayal of some of these cities where they're like, because she just went out to Seattle. And I was like, oh, is it really bad? She's like, no, not where I'm like at. Like, there's bad areas, just like every single, you know, city in America. But Portland was such a vibe and so cool. And that's, you know, I'm not exclaiming anything new. Everybody knows that, but I can't wait to come back out. But I bring that up because we got to hang out and we went and saw the monkey, dude.
Dude.
Osgood Perkins is the monkey.
Went into it not knowing a thing about it. I saw like the picture of the monkey and that was it. I loved it, dude. I thought it was so cool.
Dude, I thought it was really good too. So you know my thoughts on his previous movie, Long Legs. Didn't care for it. Thought it was, you know, overstuffed and undercooked all at the same time. But this one was good, dude. This one was just a fun. You know what? I was sitting there thinking, and I was totally sober while I was watching it, so I was, you know, all my thoughts were really succinct and to the point.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I was like, dude, this really is this. If Rod Serling was sitting in the audience, he would love this because it really is an hour and a half Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
And it felt like that, and it was, you know, there's some offbeat moments. You know, tonally, it's kind of all over the place. It's not. I wouldn't call it a horror film, you know, in a traditional sense. You know, the same as Long Legs. Like, I wouldn't call Long Legs a horror film. That's how they're kind of billed. I think the Stephen King, you know, label on it automatically makes you think that it's going to be a traditional horror film. There's definitely horror elements in it. But, you know, it had the campiness of like a 1980s slasher film, which, you know, I thought was really cool. Messed with it tonally, so you're sitting there and one thing would happen. Because I'll tell you something else. The lead in it, Theo James, who plays the twin brothers, that dude crushed it.
Yeah.
And he took it 100% serious. So there were some lines and stuff he delivered that made me laugh out loud that were really good. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it again and watch it from a different mindset and perspective. But you know, at the end of it, they had a preview for his next movies, which looks pretty compelling too.
Well, yeah. What was the name of that?
You know what? I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't
don't
remember
what it was. So the marketing campaign didn't really work that well, I
Yeah.
guess. But you know, I like that. That's also a very old school thing of like, we're gonna put the trailer at the end of this movie, because we've, you know, already shot it.
Keeper. Is it Keeper?
It is Keeper.
Was he in Nope? Was he an actor in Nope?
Yeah, he was an actor before, dude. He was in he's
okay.
been in a bunch of stuff. He is the son of Anthony Perkins, who is Norman Bates in Psycho.
Yeah.
And so he definitely has, like, you know, he comes from a good pedigree of horror icons. But I dug it, dude. Can't wait to watch it again. I'll be honest, if I wasn't with you guys, I probably would have just waited for it to come out, and I think that would have been fine too.
Yeah.
But I think, like, if you're even, you know, if you like scary movies but you don't like horror films necessarily, I think this is the kind of the perfect movie because you're not going to get too much of anything. You're going to get just enough, and that was it. You at first you were kind of contemplative about it, right? You were kind of like,
well, I was about to say I didn't think about it as like a Twilight Zone episode until you said that, and now that I think about it, it totally is, because it's just like an object that is kind of changing the atmosphere that it's in, which is actually a really cool thought. I really enjoyed the movie. I think I do like the mixture of the horror aspect meets like comedy. Like there were parts in it where it was like the director did such a good job of like making a scene so brutal and then instantly a joke in there that like caught you off guard.
Yeah.
I feel like the wackiness maybe was a little too much at times, especially towards the end.
I think that's his style though.
Yeah. I feel like that's my only
for.
complaint. And it's not even a complaint. It's just like, oh, okay, I wish maybe it took itself a little more serious.
Yeah.
But who am I? And then also like the fact that it wasn't as serious as I feel like it could have been.
Yeah.
It also was a good thing.
I think like when you're making a movie about monkey toy that follows people around and kills people whenever he plays drums. Like there's kind of humor already built into that.
For sure.
And that's what I appreciated about it is because there's two ways to play that. You play that uber serious and you play it to a T, and then it kind of loses something because you're like, this is a monkey toy. Yeah. Or, I think he made the right choice. So I'm interested to see the Keepers or whatever the next movie is. Doesn't look like it's going to be this. It looks like a horror film.
It does look way more serious. But who knows? Like after seeing this movie, I imagine there's going to be some parts in it that kind of break up the dread of the horror movie itself. Yeah, I don't know. The trailer kind of like was like obviously like a little preview to it, but it didn't really tell you much of what it's going to be. But it looked intense.
They had to buck back a bit, dude.
Can we rebrand to Buck Back a Bit?
Bang my name, dude.
Bang my name, Buck Back a Bit.